Hello everyone, welcome to Student Coder YouTube channel. Chapter 0 Introduction to C Language. We will see about the overview of C language and history of C language. Why was C language created and how it is created? As we know, in the past, the programmers used the binary code to communicate with the computer. As you see on the screen, there are many characters and every character has its individual binary code. As A has a separate binary code and B has its own kind of binary code. In this way, every character has its own type of binary code. Let us frame it in simpler way. Let us take a simple word student. STUDENT, student. As you can see, every alphabet in the word student has its own type of binary code. To tell the computer that we are entering the word student, we have to combine all the binary code into a single string and we have to give the input as the below student and the long 8 digits binary codes combination. Pretty hard, right? So a challenge from a student. So as you know, I am a student, so I am giving you a simple challenge. That is, add 2 plus 3. You will simply say that the answer is 5. Quite simple, right? What would you say if I told you do it in binary? You may say I quit. Even I also quit because it is very hard to do the calculation in binary. So to solve this problem, the programmers instead of using the binary code, they invented a new type of programming language which is called assembly language. So to solve the challenge, we can simply write add A, B. There is no scary picture of 8-digit binary code, isn't it? So it is very simpler than the binary code itself. But you will get a simpler doubt that why the hell the C language was invented. Is the assembly language is not enough? As you can see on the screen, add A, B. It's a simpler version. But why was the C invented? Let's see. In 1969, the Unix operating system was developed. So, Dick Thompson had developed a new type of operating system which is called Unix. And the operating system was developed in assembly language. So, the operating system was created by using assembly language. Okay. Experts encountered many problems in Unix operating system. One of the major problems was portability. Let's search what is meant by portability. So, portability. The ability to be easily carried or moved, or the ability of software to be transferred from one machine or system to another. So, therefore, portability. Ability to run your code anywhere you want. Therefore, assembly language was not a portable language, which means the assembly language, in assembly language, we write the code and the assembler converts the code into binary code to communicate with the computer. But the main limitation, the main disadvantage in the assembly language was the conversion of binary code was different from each system architecture. Therefore, the code you written in one computer may or may not be run in other computer. To conquer this problem, C language was built. So as you can see, C is a highly portable. This means that C program written in one computer can be run on another computer with little or no modification. Therefore, Dennis Ritchie C program language was developed in 1972 by Dennis Ritchie at Bell Laboratories at USA. Dennis Ritchie is known as the founder of C language. It was developed by overcoming the problems of previous languages such as B and BCPL. So the C language was developed by Dennis Ritchie, and it has many characteristics of its successor programming languages like B and BCPL. Okay, due to this reason, the reason was that C language was portable. So due to this reason, Unix operating system was written in C in 1972. It is believed that this was the first use of C language ever. Got it? Any other reasons? Mid-level language, less line of code, and ability to extend itself. Before moving on to these other reasons, let us see how C works. C is defined as procedural language, which simply means dividing our gigantic program into much smaller programs called functions. Follow my screen. So procedural language means dividing our gigantic program into much and smaller parts. I know that most of you don't have any knowledge about C programming language, but I will explain it in our future classes. Just understand what I am saying and what I am displaying on my screen. So this is a simple program to build a calculator. So what are the operations we do in calculator? Addition, subtraction, multiplication, division, square root, etc. So rather than doing the entire program in single function, the functions divide the program, can be divide the program. Therefore, in addition, we write the addition code. In subtraction, we write the subtraction code, and in multiplication, we write the multiplication, and there's so on. So we make these type of functions, and we use these functions in our main program. So we strategize our main program into smaller bits, which makes our coding simpler. This is called procedural programming. Don't get worried, it's just a preview of what we are going to discuss in the future. There is a separate topic of functions in the future. So don't get worried or don't be carried out. So let's go to the other reasons rather than portability, higher level versus lower level. So before saying about the mid level, I want to discuss about the higher level and lower level. The languages can be divided into two parts, higher level languages, lower level languages. Higher level simply means user friendly. The user can write the code in simpler and understand the code in much simpler way than the lower level languages. Higher level languages, Python, Java, Kotlin, C++, C#, etc. are available, which makes user to do the programming in much simpler way and to understand the code in much simpler way. Whereas in lower level languages, the code is not most of all user friendly, like Fortran, COBOL, BCPL, B and assembly language. In lower level language, they are also available of system level features, like we can access the storage in the computer itself. But what about C language? Does C belongs to high level languages or low level languages? The answer is C is called mid level language because it is actually bind the gap between a machine level language and high level languages. Let's see. C language is called middle level language, which makes programming simpler for humans. But on the other hand, it allows us to access system level features as like the machine languages. That is, direct access to memory through pointers, bit manipulating using bitwise operator, write assembly code within C code. These are the some system level features that are available in C languages. There are many more, but we will discuss future in the future. Ability to extend itself. Wide varieties of built-in functions, standard libraries, and header files are available within C language. We will discuss about this in the chapter 1, Structure of C Programming Language, in detail. The programming code in C language is much smaller than the successor programming languages like BCPL assembly languages. These are the main reasons we are using the C programming language. Let's meet in chapter 1, Structure of C Programming Language. Thank you for watching.